for a cocktail. Not really, but this makeup is inspired by a cocktail. I do have clothes on, by the way, in case you think I'm naked. I'm obsessed with Pinterest. I have been for years and it just never gets old. I love it. Those little olive martini cocktails kept popping up on my page. They're just such a vibe. It's like the shape of the glass, the green olive. Anyway, I don't know. I was just inspired to do a makeup look around a martini. So we're going for a martini makeup today. This was the Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm going to use the Guerlain Terracotta Le Tint foundation, shade 1.5N. Just going to mix these together on the skin. And see, if you're ever in like a creative rut, not even just makeup, just like any type of creative rut, just want interest? No, just go on to Pinterest and I swear within 5 minutes you will have about a million ideas. Pinterest is the app of all apps. I use this one a lot. It's by Tarte. There's no number or anything on it, but it's just like a little buffer brush. Yeah, I love this brush for foundations because it just buffs everything on the skin so nicely and just like giving you real nice coverage at the same time. I am not a beauty blender type of gal. Brushes all the way. You know the drill. Contour. I'll try and name my brushes as I go because I always forget. But this is a Morphe V108 brush. I love this shape of brush. It's kind of basically just like a smaller version of the foundation brush that I used. But I just really like this shape of brush for my contour because it's small enough to get in to the areas that you want it, and then because it's nice and fluffy, it will happily buff out your product. By the way, sorry, I know that there is some like kind of background noise like from my camera and probably some street noise too. I mean, I do live in Vancouver, so there can be some street noise. I do have a mic, but it's not the most reliable, so I just need to get a new one. So please bear with me until I get that sorted, but I will get it sorted soon. So sorry for the inconvenience. Hopefully it's not too annoying. So we're going to do that like underpaint, is that what it's called? With the blush. It's pretty similar to what I do with my contour. Then my concealer, because I just use my concealer to just tidy up everywhere. The same with the blush. This is the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Virtue. This will look crazy for a minute, but bear with me, I promise it will work out. Like, that is another good thing about the underpainting technique, is that you can put a bit like extra product on if you wanted to, because your concealer is going to blend everything out. The concealer, I'm going in with the Dior Forever Skin Correct. The blush brush was from Rare Beauty. So such a nice brush for blush. This brush is by... shit, the names wore off. I have no idea. Could have been Dose of Colours. It's just like a flat, like dough shaped brush. To set everything, then I'm going in with the Huda Beauty loose powder. And this is the cupcake one. I usually go between cupcake and pound cake. So I always set my concealer first. I don't bake because it just doesn't look good on my skin. It makes me look really wrinkly. Kind of press the powder in, and then I'll go down and just do around my chin. A lighter motion up around here. There's very little on the brush down, and I'll just kind of dust up along my jaw. And I typically just leave my cheekbone area. I like to have extra glow there. Brows. I'm just going to set that with a little bit of the brow setter from Benefit. Okay, I'm going to start with a base. I'm going to use the Caviar Eye Stick from Laura Mercier. This is the shade Coca. Just going to buff that all over the lid. I just blending this out, just kind of like to the shape that I want to do. I'm not going to do a wing liner, but I do kind of want the shadow to kind of wing out a little bit like this. Just because that is a bit more flatter and kind of lifts the eye a little bit. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing. We're just going with the flow right now. And if you're ever doing this and you go too low, just grab your concealer brush and just kind of wipe it up very lightly, and it will just tidy up that. I'm just taking a little bit of my Guerlain bronzing powder, just because this palette doesn't have a lighter brown that I'm looking for, like that mid-tone brown. It has this shade here, but it's just a little bit too grey for me, so I'm gonna just go in with my bronzer. Just kind of buffing that through the crease. And then, I think I'll take some of this shade called Ember. And I'm gonna go on just to the outer corner of my eye. Just want to deepen that outer corner. I don't know if I said this palette, it's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Fall Romance palette. I don't like to use tape because that ends up being like a very dramatic, you know, line. I don't want that. I want it to go that way, but like flow that way, you know? You know? How many times do I say you know? Quite a lot, I would say. Before I smoke the underneath, we're going to go in and do like a nice green on the lid for the olives in the martini. So I'm going to use a base. I'm sorry, I'm using a base that is discontinued. I went through all my products and looked for a green, but I didn't have the right green. So I'm going to go in with this. This is by Stila. It is the Enchanted Earth Liquid Shadow. I've used this a few times before. You know I love it so much, and they discontinued it. And I can't believe that they discontinued it because it is such a good colour. Like, look at that green. I don't have anything like it. The amount of makeup that I own, and I don't own anything. This stunning green. Please let me know if you know anything that's like a dupe for this. Let me know because I need it. I need it. We all need it. It's such a good green colour that even people who don't like colour will wear it. Because it's not colourful. Do you know what I mean? The little applicator broke off. I had to open this bit, which went everywhere, but I don't care because the colour is worth it. Put this down on the lid. See why I love it? And even on its own, I have some videos, I'll link them below, of just this by itself. Delicious. So I have this pigment from MAC, it's called Antique Green. It's kind of like a bluey green, but I'm hoping that the green base that I put down will bring out the green. I'm very into shimmers lately. I feel like it's just a shimmery time of year. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of Fenty Diamond Bombs. This is the shade Royal Icing. So it'll just make everything stand out a little bit more. Going in with black eyeliner now. I'm going to go underneath my eye along my lash line and into my waterline. And then I'm just blending that out with a little detail brush. This brush is a Morphe M431. See, it's just a tiny little, like a little pencil brush. So good for detail under the eye, just because you have control then of where the product's going to go. If you go in with anything that's too fluffy, it's just going to like blend everywhere, so it's not going to look as precise as kind of how that looks, you know? You know? I'm going to take a bit of the bronzer and I'm just going to go along my lash line just very lightly, just to kind of soften the line. I'm going to take a little bit of the Ember as well, just a smidge. I feel like it just needs a little bit more depth. I'm going to take this tiny little detail brush and some of the dark brown in the palette called Crimson, and I want to just go along the top lash line, just on the outer corner. I'm going to actually mix a little bit of amber with that. I'm just going to do my lashes now. Okay, I added my corner lashes. These ones are the Esquido Celestial lash. Yeah, that I cut in half, and then I have the other half on my eye. So that is usually what I do for my corner lashes. And take a little bit more of the glitter and just apply it to the inner corner too. I'm gonna just finish up my skin with a little bit of the Guerlain powder. This is the YSL Touche Eclat Glow Shot. Apply this just to my cheeks. I mean, how gorge is that? For my lip, I'm going with this chestnut lip liner from MAC. And then I'm taking the Dior lipstick in the shade 215. And I think we'll go with a little bit of gloss. This is NARS Turkish Delight Gloss. Cheers. Just kidding, it's only water. But for the vibe of the video, a martini makeup for a martini gal. Are you a martini girl? Are you a martini girl? So that is it for my little martini makeup. Perfect for Christmas parties, all the fun activities that are going to be coming up in the next few weeks. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Love you.